Hey guys, welcome to Skipper Surf Review. So today I'm here with Chris, the owner of Pilgrim Surf Supply, and we're gonna try to wax the board. And Chris is gonna spill out all his secrets how to wax the surfboard properly. We're gonna try to make different patterns, or actually talk about different patterns that you can try to make. What's the technique and what's the secret actually? Because I asked a couple people, they don't wanna spill out their secrets, and so Chris was the only one who was down to do it. So I brought today album Moonstone. This is a 6/8 mid-length, and want to try to make something on this board. Make some pattern, butterfly, or what do you think? It's good today. What can you make?
I mean, that's going to start testing my drawing skills, and that's intimidating. How about just a pattern?
Pattern?
Yeah.
Maybe the one I texted you. Did you see that one?
No.
Oh, let me show you. This is like what I posted on my story, and I got so many people questioning, like, can you please make this one?
Yeah, that's just like an organic pattern.
Yeah.
I can show you, like, on a lot of my boards, I do this thing where it's like sort of a way of like paying homage to the shaper, the label. Like this is a 10-5 skip magic, and you can see how I like basically just starbursted lines coming off the skippy wings.
Yeah, it looks beautiful.
Yeah, and it looks cool, but really like getting those scabs on the board is really what, that's the point. And there's a really straightforward way of doing it. You just have to be patient, and after you do it a couple times, you know how much pressure to apply. And yeah, let's do it.
All right.
You want to should we give Matt from album like the starburst treatment?
Let's do it.
Okay.
It's all down. It's better than mine. I mean, I have no patience.
Yeah, like I remember a friend of mine got a new board one time from us, and for a joke, I drew this giant mustache because he had a mustache, and I drew this big mustache on the board with waxed it up. So when he got it, he had to deal with it.
So we're gonna use what wax you're using, and what would you prefer?
So it's critical to use base coat, even though Dane Reynolds hates base coat. If you want to build those bumps up, you want to use the hardest wax, and this is the 6X extra hard tropic or base coat from Sex Wax. It's the Quick Humps. This is my favorite wax because I like the way it works, and really I like the way it smells. I like Cassia's wax a lot too, and Sticky Bumps is great. It's a little too sticky for me, but in the wintertime I like it, and it has a different smell. It's like berry flavor, so I have like a psychological thing. If the waves are kind of pumping and big in the wintertime, I like the berry smell. I don't know. When you smell coconut, it smells like.
I love coconut.
It smells like warm water. Yeah. My question is: do you wax your mid lengths to the nose, or do you not wax the nose?
I do know. I can do nose. I think I mean I cannot do like a cross taping. I do cheater 5. Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
I've seen you. Cheater 5.
Yeah. Every time I paddle out, I do the barrel, like a cheater 5.
Right up here, you gotta get that nose.
Nose. Yeah, let's do it. Maybe I'll put just
to the crown, right here.
To the crown, right here. Yeah, this specifically for the cheater 5.
Yeah, you gotta be one little piece right there. I'm a big fan of waxing on my like long fish and eggs. Like anything that's like 6'6" and up, I always wax them to the nose. Also, sometimes I don't surf those boards with a leash, and when you have the board waxed to the nose, you can grab the board easier. But yeah, you never know when you're gonna want to get up there.
Well, it depends on the board. Some mid-lengths or like some boards I cannot do cheater 5 for all. It's not holding. I mean, with this one, but that's why I chose this particular one, because I was able to do the cheater 5 and it was holding. But I cannot do with everyone. And
a lot of foam up here.
There's a lot of foam. Yeah. Yes, it was just really.
It's like, it's tucked under a little bit.
Yeah, a lot of volume there.
I mean, that was Tom Carroll told me that back in the 70s, cheater 5ing in the barrel was like doing an air. That was like the trick, I even had a Jeff Crawford single fin from the late 70s. It had a dimple, like a concave on the bottom of the nose.
Wow.
So you get lift when you're up on the nose, like cheater fiving.
That's
so
sick.
It's like a thing. There was like a window of time there where that was the trick. That was like the move.
But we'll come back.
It'll come back. You're gonna bring it back here. I can't wait.
Yeah.
Because of my wax job, it's gonna keep you on.
No, I wish I had the longboard. Honestly, like I want to check out some longboards that you have here.
Yeah. Well, you're always welcome to borrow stuff. I have a couple of really good longboards. Sometimes it's nice to slow things down and ride a longer board, feel that rail line in the wave, and feel the inertia and the energy of the wave more. You know, less of you moving, more like you kind of nuancing where the board is in the wave. You know? Yeah,
learn a little bit like 1-2 cross steps forward and back. I will be happy. Just one step forward and back, not shuffling.
Yeah, no shuffling.
No shuffling.
But yeah, I think you learn a lot from riding bigger boards and riding single fins too. Like it helps you really think about the rail. Some of that goes back into riding short boards. Yeah.
And slow down a little bit, not be in rush.
Yep. Everything slows down. I've got, and not just longboards, but like I have a big Andrini Serena model that he shaped here with Joe Falcone in Joe Falcone's shaping booth. It's a beautiful board that you should try. The gliders, like these guys, like these bigger boards, like a lot of my friends who are shortboarders or guys that like to ride performance boards and smaller boards hate longboarding because longboarding is a displacement hull, and you're basically you're just like you're moving at the speed of the wave. And the rails are bulbous. It's a lot of roll on the bottom, so you're moving slowly. But these things have concaves on the bottom, and they get lift, and they just project. So they're a lot faster. You get that speed. That's addictive. So some of my friends who are always trying to ride their smaller boards in really shitty meager surf, when they get on one of these, are like, okay, that's what I want. I don't want a longboard. I want that. So you'll have to try to take this with you sometime. And
I'm totally down
today if you want.
Possibly, yeah.
Put that on your. I'll help you put it on your roof.
Thank you.
You might need two extra hands. So yeah, let's get this thing waxed. The thing I always do with the Tropic wax with the base coat is you want to basically go over your line when you're drawing a line or when you're making a mark. It could be a little set of little hashes all over the place that's just organic and random. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a burst come off of the album logo. So just put it on edge. Use the edge of the wax, not like the side, and then lightly just kind of draw a line. And then you want to go back over that line, the same line.
Like along the string line.
Yep. So I'm just freehand this, but I want to go back over that line as closely as I can. So you're basically building it up, right? One time we had a sign up in the shop that said bespoke wax jobs and artisanal ding repair offered here, and people thought we were serious. And they were like, "Can I get a bespoke wax job?" And we're like, "That's actually a joke." But then I'm like, it could be a little business. So this is pretty straightforward. And it's important to not go too fast because you're creating friction, right? By rubbing the wax on the board. And if you go fast, then it creates more friction. Friction creates heat, and then the wax gets kind of hot and ends up getting pushed around and flattened out, and then it's harder to build up those bumps. But
I can start to see those lines.
Yeah, you can see them pretty clearly when you get the little bit of glare on.
I guess it's going to be more visible if you had like a yellow board or red one.
Yeah, when you do it on a resin tinted board or a darker board, it just it really shows. And now I'm just going up here to your nose. We're going to go all the way up that cheater 5 zone. Make sure we're fully waxed up here. People are going to make fun of me for this here, you know that.
Why do you think like that? It looks so sick. I've never seen anyone doing this.
Well, it's funny. It's like surfing should be called waiting, right? Like that's what we do when we surf. We wait most of the time. And you're sitting on your board. You're looking at this thing, and if you're looking at your crappy wax, or you're waxed a bunch of sand in it, or all the rubber that's rubbed off from your wetsuit, it's kind of gross. or just not very inspiring. But
that's basically me. Just
yeah, I do. I mean, I do too. I mean, I go through cycles. I mean, you know this. Like, we have to take the wax off in the spring because if you've been surfing that board in the wintertime and you have winter wax on it, I've actually torn my MCL.
Really?
Wow.
Wow.
With winter wax on the board in the summer, and my feet just like glued to the board, trying to flick out, and I'm like trying to get my foot off and just tweak my leg.
Oh.
Tore my MCL. It's terrible. And I'm like a 2-foot wave. So pathetic.
So pathetic. Yeah, it's. I can't. I would never imagine that this would happen.
I was really annoyed, and that was okay, I'm always changing my wax now. So now I'm just going in and I'm just making these little in between kind of marks, in between the lines that I drew. And I'm going to do a little bit more up top. And I'm just kind of moving this around, so I'm just trying to get the sharpest part of the wax. My friend Jay Nelson did some incredible wax drawings on boards, like these mandalas. They're beautiful. I think it took him quite a long time, but they were so cool. And he did them on dark boards. They just looked amazing. When you saw them from afar, you thought the design was like painted onto the deck of the board. Mm-hmm. So then, once I get that kind of done, laid out, not getting those little nuggets off. Don't do this in your living room. That's a good piece of advice. Your spouse will kill you when they come home and you have wax on your rugs and hardwood floors. It's bad. So now what I do is I just take the edge of the wax and I'm going to just start slowly rubbing it on the board, kind of like back and forth.
So you're using the same wax that you...
Still using the base coat. And now I'm just going to start kind of randomly rubbing it on the board. And at first it'll kind of like blend in with everything. It's also kind of warm out today, so if you can do this like in an air-conditioned apartment without getting it all over your floor, putting something down, that's what I would do. I think we're gonna achieve what we want to achieve out here. But I'm doing this really, really lightly. It's like lightly as I can. I'm kind of letting it bounce off those lines a little bit. And I'm not going to go too fast in any one spot for that friction reason. If I sat here and went like this, it would heat up and start to melt and push around, and impossible to build up those scabs. Best sound ever.
I wish it was a new surfboard.
Yeah, well, it's almost new. It's really clean. I mean, you've surfed it, obviously. I see some heel dents in it.
Yeah.
How's it go?
Great. Love it. It's my favorite.
Long fishes are fantastic. How big is this one?
6'8".
6'8". Yeah, that's the magic number. 6'8", 6'9". It's a nice outline too. That's a great shaper.
I just can't wait to put this board on like a 4 to 6 foot day.
Yeah.
It hasn't seen that yet.
I like these a lot because they're the size is perfect because you can still dub dive this board. I have this like theory that 6'8", I can get under like 3 or 4 waves and without struggling. If I'm on a 7.0, I can get it under like 2 waves, and then that third set, you're just like third wave in the set, you're like, oh, trying to force it under, everything's shaking. So yeah, this is slowly building up now. But I'd really like to get the majority of this built up with the base coat. You can you see how those lines are really?
I do see it. I'm not sure about the camera, but.
Yeah, if you go really low, you can really see it. And the lines are really starting to pick up the wax. starting to build up. So by making those two lines, you're really like creating a ridge. So every time you run over it with the edge of the bar wax, it just catches it basically. And then you're also getting it in between, those lines. It's not just picking up on the lines. It's getting all over the whole deck, but it's going to build up more on those lines than on the deck where there is no ridge wax.
So how much wax is supposed to use? So if you have like a new bar, like a half, get to the half?
This will probably use about that much. I'm almost done, I think, with this. You probably use like a quarter or a third of base coat, and then you don't use that much of the warm. Yeah, so yeah, it's almost there. I also think that this is the area where the wax gets knocked off the most, right in the middle of the board where your chest is when you're paddling. I feel like this is where it gets the most wear and tear, but now you can really see Yuri. It's really building up. Also, you can get to know your board a little bit when you wax it. You stare at the outline, and it's kind of fun. All right, I think we're ready for warm water. But that's pretty good. Pretty scabby. And then do you want to do the warm? You want me to do it?
I'll just let you do it. I don't mess it up.
This is what I like to use. Is the bottom part? Yeah, not where it has like that soft edge. And it kind of looks clear. I may be totally wrong, but I feel like this is not as tacky. Or a little bit more oily. So anyway, that's just my superstition. But yeah, now with the warm, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to try and just use the edge. I'm just going to go in just kind of like circles and not staying in one place, just moving it around a lot. And when you do it in the wintertime with the warm water wax, it's so sticky that you just got to go really slow, unless you're outside and it's cold out. Guys in the 60s were just using Gulf wax, like paraffin wax, and melting it on the board, like melting it, dripping it all over the board. And they would get little drips. They would try and make them like the drips, like basically like these scabs, and then use sand to kind of like rough it up. But it was hard, it was not very good grip. When you're riding a longboard, not as critical to have super tacky deck, but still, that must have sucked. We should do a screening of Mad Wax, that Australian film, where like they make this wax and it takes them like all over the world to these amazing breaks when they wax their board. This is pretty good, Yuri. I would paddle out on this right now.
I wish it was like a 3 to 5 now.
Me too. We need it. The last few days have been pretty fun here. Thursday, you could ride any board you want. It was fun. It was a really fun day. All right, man. I think if you get low, you can see it. It's pretty scabby. There you go.
Yeah. Looks sick.
And you get the shadow on it. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Some people like to wax their board all the way out to the rail. It's kind of where I would end it, but
pretty easy. Once you do it a couple times, it's pretty simple.
Can't believe it. I honestly, like, I don't want to serve this board. I just put in the corner.
Oh man, that's terrible. No, you got to serve it.
Maybe I'll just wait for the best conditions.
You know what? We'll wax up a piece of wood like this for you. You can look at it. Like it'll be like it's like abstract art. It's like Aboriginal painting, dot painting. That's it, Yuri. Ready to shred. Now we got to do the bottom. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's do the bottom.
I think like when you turn it sideways, like when you put it on the rail, that's when you literally see the whole pattern.
Yeah, you know, we have this like kind of diffused straight overhead light, so yeah, when you just get a little shadow on it, you can really see it. There it is.
Pro level.
I've waxed a few surfboards, Yuri.
And then like if you want to do similar but without pattern, just a regular, you can just go like a sideways. Or?
I mean, just like make really random marks, but always go over that mark twice. So sometimes 1, 2, 3 even.
The one I showed you, that pattern, you would just like do like a randomly.
I would just yep. I would just make little hash marks. Yep, nothing crazy.
And that's probably gonna get that.
Yeah, yep. If it's you know like arcs and little strikes and just random, then you won't see those patterns. It'll just end up kind of building.
What's your favorite pattern?
I mean, I kind of like this because it's like radiating, you know, from the center of the board, and it's not too distracting. And I find that like just on a practical level, these ridges, these lines, especially back here, really are nice for your foot. You know, doesn't move. It just gives you a lot of traction. So, yeah, I think it's practical, and it looks.
Maybe I'll be able to shred better.
I think you're gonna probably get barreled a lot longer with this wax job.
Sweet, so stoked.
And you're gonna hit the lip a lot harder for sure. Yeah, it's great. The board looks great.
Thank you so much, Chris, for spilling out your secret. This is like amazing. I'm sure if you guys found this helpful, comment down below or let us know if you know any other better techniques. And yeah, guys, thanks so much for watching. Thank you for your support. Thank you again, Chris.
Thanks for including me, Yuri.
Taking your time and then
my pleasure.
Helping me out to surf my favorite board.
Now you just have to carry my board to the beach.
Will do.
Next time I see you.
Okay, sounds good. All right, guys, like, subscribe, comment. Let me know if you have any questions, suggestions.